Hey, what's up guys? Tony here, and welcome to another episode of Tuesdays with Tony. I was actually going to be doing sort of a talk about the 10 years after the Iraqi war started, because Billy the Kid suggested that in the comment section of last video, but because of the Boston Marathon bombing on Monday, I just didn't really feel up to it. I thought there were more important things to deal with, and so I didn't do a commentary at all on Monday or Tuesday. And so now here it is Wednesday, I'm recording this, so Thursday I'll post this up. And what I want to talk about is just sort of my thoughts about the bombing. I actually was in class when it happened, and so I didn't even know about the bombing until I got home. I got home, I can't even remember, I think it was probably about 2 o'clock my time, or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Anyway, so I got home, in the afternoon my time, and I jumped on Skype, and then so I got on, and so my Skype, normal crew they were laughing and having a good time, and then I think it was Billy was like, "Hey, have you heard? Did you hear? Like, what do you think? Something like that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "The bombing in Boston." I'm like, "What bombing in Boston?" Oh, that's right. That's what set it off. Is that someone was commenting about how people go onto Twitter, and they're like, "What happened in Boston?" And so they ask on Twitter as if they want to get the information from Twitter instead of like Googling it for themselves. And so I said, "What bombing?" And he's like, "How do you not know about this?" I'm like, "I've been in class, from 10 o'clock my time till almost 1 o'clock. I'm in class. I got 2 classes back to back." So nothing really gets out. And nobody was talking about it in class, and no surprise, because we're in class. How many people are, well, that's not true nowadays. I mean, people with computers and stuff, they're out there playing around on their computers, and I admit it, I will mess around on my computer when I'm when I'm bored in class. So I didn't know about it, and I started watching videos. Billy started sending me some links. I started Google searching it myself, and it's a very sad thing, and of course it is. I mean, but the thing that strikes me personally is that when I was younger, when September 11th happened and I was 18 years old, I cared, but it was such a distant thing. Like, New York City was so far away, and I didn't feel all that affected by it because I don't have family out there. I have family in New Jersey, but I mean not New York, in the city, and so I didn't really know how to act. I didn't know how to react to it. I was stoic, but I didn't feel anything. It wasn't like I felt this surge of patriotism to go sign up like some people did. And so the reason why I bring that up is because since I've gotten older, now here I am in 2013, and the Boston Marathon gets bombed. I was actually pretty upset by the whole thing, and it was so much so, I mean, I did try to laugh and have a good time with my buddies, but underneath it all, I felt really hurt that this happened. And I know, I can't remember who said it, but somebody had pointed out that I wasn't being normal, and it was kind of weird to have this international conversation of Irishmen and women, English girl, and then myself, and I think Tim was in it as well, but Tim wasn't, he wasn't really talking as much as the North Atlanteans were, and I wasn't really talking all that much. I tried to maintain this sort of level of being upbeat, but the fact of the matter was I was actually really hurt by it. It hit me on a different level than like September 11th when I was 18. I didn't get it. And I don't know if it's just because since I was 18, I've been to New York once, I've been to Boston once now. New York, it's cool, but I really liked Boston when I was there. I mean, I really liked Boston, so much so that I was looking into teaching programs in Boston to move there. It was a super cool town, and it has a lot of history there. And so for something like that to happen, it really struck me. It really did. And it kind of sat with me for a day, and I'm just as disconnected from Boston as I am New York, even now, just because I've been there, but I don't know. I mean, I know people who are from there, who are from that area, but I don't know anyone specifically in the city of Boston or any of the people who were injured, of course. But it's still, like I said, it still struck me, and it makes me wonder. And the things that have been talked about, of course, is it's typical for us is that anything something bad happens to us, the immediate action is like we need to go to war. And so people were talking about that on Facebook. My friends were, and it appears, which is sad, because it appears that this is a piece of domestic terrorism. Because if it was foreign, a foreign place would have claimed it by now. And I haven't checked the news in a while, so if they have caught or if somebody has claimed it since my recording of this, then it'll be clearly outdated. But as of yet, I don't believe anyone has claimed responsibility for the bombing. But anyways, it's pretty much a sad week for us. It's never good when something happens, and it's never good when something like happens in any part of the world. I know there are parts of the world that this is more common. Take the Middle East, for example. I know the Israelis are always constantly on guard for, school bus bombings, or not school bus, but bus bombings and just things like that. And of course, the soldiers that were in Iraq and Afghanistan had to deal with IEDs. But for most countries, it's especially the United States, we're so far removed from everything. We're isolated by two oceans. We don't really have to deal with terrorism like this, and so it is difficult to deal with, since it's something that we don't have to deal with. It's such a shock. I know it wouldn't come as such a shock to Israel or something. I mean, I know it will, because people will die, but the fact of the matter is that there are a lot of bombings there. There's a lot of hatred in that part of the world, and there's a lot of fighting going on in that part of the world. So I don't want to say it becomes a part of your life, but it's something that you accept after a while. Like, oh yeah, another bombing happened. It's tragic, yes, but it's something that happened. And then, of course, here in the States, it's something that's happened a handful of times. And I think the last piece of domestic terrorism that I can remember was the Oklahoma City bombing, of course, and then the Unabomber. Other than that, I can't remember anything beyond that. If there was, then I don't know if it made national headlines or not. But anyways, guys, I just want to kind of give you my thoughts about it. I don't really know much about the bombing itself. I've seen some pictures, and I've seen some conspiracy theories about, there's a dark man on top of the roof that was standing over the finish line, and that figure may or may not have started the bombings. But it's just sad. It really is sad, and I feel really bad, and I feel for the people who have lost loved ones, or for the people who have been injured. I have seen some very horrific photos from that day, and they are images that will forever be burned into my mind. So anyways, like I said, my thoughts go out to all the people that were hurt, and to the families of those people who were killed. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys sort of putting out those same sentiments, even if you're not American. But anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and I'll talk to you guys later.